So here's my Nanowrimo for day 5. It's Nanowrimo 2017. I'm trying a new thing this year where I'm going to use dictation, and it's partly inspired by the fact that I'm doing this vlog, so I've been used to like talking to my phone and getting over that feeling of you look like an idiot, and that's been actually very helpful to me. So I've been trying this method where I dictate the chapter first, and I didn't expect to completely use the words I used when I dictated it, but what happened this morning was very weird, or it wasn't what I expected to happen. I'm not sure what I expected to happen because this is a complete experiment, but what did happen was strange to me. What happened was that I had dictated about 6 chapters, and then I sat down this morning, and for once I was finally over being sick too, so I actually got up at a really good hour, and I think that helped. I got up really early. I didn't used to be a morning person, but now I'm sort of training myself to becoming a morning person. And I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was actually able to write starting pretty soon right after that. And then I wrote really late because it's a Sunday, so I could write in later. And I didn't have to take the kids to school. And I wrote 6 chapters. So it was awesome, but it was completely different than what I had dictated. So that's very weird. I don't know what to say about that. That's just strange. That's not how I expected it to turn out at all. And whatever I expected, it was not that. I wrote 6 chapters and they were pretty good, and I'm writing really short chapters for this book, so that's only about 6,000 words, which isn't even like half of what a chapter would be in my other series, but I want these to be really short and punchy chapters. So, and I would have been able to keep going even further. I think I would have even been able to get to about 8,000 words, but then the rest of the family woke up, so I had to go be a mom. And that's fine. But it was just so strange. It was really strange because what I wrote was completely different. It wasn't different in a bad way. I mean, it did still follow the plot line that I had, but I actually had all these other things that I hadn't put into the dictation. I never even listened to the dictation, so I definitely wasn't typing from what I had said in the morning. But somehow going through that process of talking myself through all of the chapters did fire me up to then write down all of the chapters. Just, they came out in a completely different way. And much better, I have to say, than what I had dictated, because there's a lot of stupid stuff. I think I was really just thinking through it when I was dictating it, so I was doing that thinking process, but I was doing it out loud, and I was doing it, that forced me to be more conscious about trying to be as inclusive as I could be in the thinking process. It's not that I never sit around thinking about my stories, I do all the time, but this forced me to actually say out loud things like, where are they, what's the setting, what is she wearing, what does she look like, what do the people that she's with look like, how does she get from one place to another? All these little bits that I'm usually awful at because they're not the fun bits, like how you get from point A to point B is boring. I'm interested in the exciting conversation she's having with another character, or the conflict, or you know, the hero, when is she going to meet him, etc. I'm always focused on that. And then when I actually get to the scene, what bogs me down forever is, wait a minute, is she going to start on the train or in a carriage, or do they have cars? I'm writing science fiction, so I have to even think about what kind of vehicles they ride in. And I did a lot of that work ahead of time when I was thinking out loud to myself in the dictation. And so I think that paid off. And even though it came out differently when I actually wrote it down, that thinking through process did really help me. So now I have to decide what am I going to do. Am I going to like try and dictate based on where I left off? Am I going to try and do this for like the next 6 chapters, or how am I going to do it? And when am I going to have time to do that? Maybe tomorrow morning on Monday I'll try that. And so it might be alternating writing with a thinking day, with a writing day. Now I don't know if that's going to work, because in terms of like, you know, finishing the book and by the end of November, but it does seem to work as a way of getting myself fired up for the writing, and that's pretty cool. I may even try this for my other series, because I've been having a lot of the same kinds of silly problems, like just logistics problems. I want to call them logistics, where it's how are they gonna get there, and what does it look like when they get there, and all of that. So I just wanted to keep this really short, but that was kind of interesting. The result totally blew me away. It was very strange. It was kind of cool. I still feel really uncertain about this whole idea of how to write, and I still don't know if it'll like really be able to follow through all the way to the end of an entire novel, but it's interesting, so I'm gonna keep trying it out and see how it goes. And guys, I do read every single comment, and I know I don't always respond to them. I'm sorry. I have kids, and I'm a mom also, and I'm also trying to write this, so I don't have time to respond like I would like to. I promise that one of these days I will do a comment video, and I'm also gonna try and, you know, if you have your own channel or something, I definitely always go and check that out too, and I will try to leave comments there if I can. So just go ahead and keep commenting, and and I will try and respond to people eventually. So go ahead, let me know how your things are going. What methods are you using? I know some people did talk about that, they've also had trouble getting going and they're anticipating when they're going to have a little more free time and they can really hit it. I think this method would be good for somebody who has very little free time. It's definitely the sort of talking it out to yourself. And I think it is important to record it so that you're forced to actually talk out loud. I think that might be really good for people who have very little free time, because when you finally hit those free time hours, you can really do it with your writing already coming out, and you don't waste your good time on the planning stuff. Okay, I want to definitely keep this short, so I'm going to tidy up now. Tara out.